Are you self-employed or planning to leave your daytime job and venture in entrepreneurship but worry about health insurance? Now, plenty of people feel like they are stuck in their current job. They hate it, but they still stick around because they're worried about losing their employer-sponsored health insurance. So in this video, I will show you how you can finally ditch that boring daytime job of yours and become a freelancer or a consultant or maybe an independent contractor or even a full-time YouTuber without worrying about health insurance for yourself and your family. First things first, this video is intended only for a US audience. If you live in Canada or Europe, then why are you guys even watching this video? You guys already have access to government provided healthcare. But unfortunately, that's not the case here in the US. Out here, you are considered self-employed if you have a business that generates income, but you don't have any employees. Say for example, you are running a solo monetized YouTube channel that generates income. Then you will be classified as self-employed for health insurance purposes. Based on your annual income and your household size, you may even qualify for premium tax credits and other savings on a healthcare plan offered by your state. So how do you find all this information? The best place to start is healthcare.gov. I have put all the relevant links in the video description below. So at the time of making this video, the open enrollment period for 2021, it had already ended, but you can still qualify for a special enrollment period if you or anyone in your household has lost a qualifying health coverage in the past 60 days or expects to lose it in the next 60 days. All you need to do is go to healthcare.gov and click on that green button which says see if I can enroll. Enter your zip code and select the first option. Now, depending on where you live, you may be redirected to your state's healthcare website. So for example, I live in California and I get redirected to the California website which is called Covered California. So for the rest of this video, I will only talk about the healthcare insurance options that are available in my state, which is the state of California. But most of the information that I am going to be presenting today, it will be applicable to other states. So here is the Covered California website. When you click on the Shop and Compare button, you get a quick rate sheet of various available health insurance plans in your area. Now you will have to estimate your total household income for this year. Make sure that you add income from all your family members. This income should be the total amount you expect to make in 2021 before taxes are deducted. Now you may qualify for significant discounts if your household income is low. For example, I have entered my household income as $100,000 and listed the total number of people in my household as 4. In the next section, you can select whatever option makes sense for you. So for my case, the low option makes sense because we mostly visit doctors for only regular checkups. Occasionally, one of my kids may bump their head and require an additional visit. So to be conservative, I will select the medium option. Here is the typical health insurance rate for a family of 4 living in California making around $100,000. Note that the final rate also includes the government subsidy, which is around $800 for this particular case that we are looking at. Now your monthly premium varies heavily based on your household income. So for example, if I put my household income as $50,000, my premium rates for the bronze tier HMO plan comes to under $50 a month, which is really cheap. But this monthly premium jumps by a factor of 10 when I increase my household income from $50,000 to $100,000. If I keep increasing my annual income, the monthly premium keeps climbing and the government subsidy keeps dwindling. Finally, at around $150,000, all the discount from the government is gone and I have to pay around $1,300 for the cheapest bronze tier HMO health plan for my family. Now, if you're getting overwhelmed with all these choices, don't worry. Just keep few things in mind to find the right plan that is best suited for your needs. Firstly, understand the difference between HMO and PPO. HMOs stand for Health Maintenance Organizations and they are typically cheaper than PPO. But the main drawback is that you are restricted to a smaller network of doctors and hospitals. You will also need to see your primary care physician first and get a referral before you can visit a specialist. PPOs, on the other hand, they stand for Preferred Provider Organization and they are usually more expensive. But in exchange, you get access to a larger network of doctors and hospitals. And you also have the opportunity to see a specialist without getting a referral from your primary healthcare physician. So let's compare the cheapest HMO and PPO plan that is available in California for the year 2021 assuming you are a family of 4 and you are making around $100,000 in a year. The cheapest plans are classified as bronze tier and they usually suck. The problem with these plans is that they come with a high yearly deductible, high copay, and high out-of-pocket maximums. When comparing various health plans, one should pay close attention to the total expense estimate. This includes your monthly premium plus the cost of prescription drugs and any extra payment that you might incur during your doctor's visit. As you can see here, the HMO plan will save you about $3,000 per year compared to the cheapest PPO plan. The yearly deductible for both these plans is comparable, so expect to spend around $14,000 from your pocket before the insurance benefits kicks in. Now this really sucks, and this relegates these bronze tier plans, in my opinion, to only emergency use. If you take a close look at the out-of-pocket max, both plans, both the HMO and the PPO plan, the out-of-pocket max is around $15,000. This is the maximum amount of money that you will be spending in a year from your pocket in the worst case scenario. Say for example, God forbid, you are hit by a truck and require a long stay in hospital, undergoing expensive surgery and rehabilitation costing millions of dollars. Your insurance plan will foot all the bill and you will only have to pay around $15,000. So at least you won't be filing for bankruptcy. Now, if you can afford to spend some extra money, my recommendation is to skip the bronze tier plans. You will get a better bang for your bucks by going with a gold tier plan. These plans offer low deductible and lower out-of-pocket expenses. So here is the cheapest gold tier HMO and the cheapest gold tier PPO plan that is available in California for the year 2021, assuming you are a family of 4 and you're making $100,000. Unless you have a good reason to go with PPO, I would recommend picking an HMO plan. You should go with a PPO plan only if your family doctor or specialist is not available in the HMO network. Now, if you look at the total expense estimate, PPO plan will cost you almost twice as much as the HMO plan. In fact, the gold tier HMO plan is actually cheaper than the bronze tier PPO plan. The biggest advantage of going with a gold tier plan is that they offer zero deductible. You only need to pay around $30 to $50 in copay for every doctor visit. Now the out-of-pocket max still remains high, and it's actually comparable to the bronze tier plan. So in the worst case scenario, you will still end up spending around $15,000 regardless of whether you are with the bronze tier plan or the gold tier plan. So yeah, the healthcare in United States, it's expensive and it sucks. But at least now insurance companies cannot deny you coverage based on your pre-existing condition. In the past, this used to be a big bait and switch tactics that insurance companies would employ to deny coverage to self-employed folks. Now this kind of behavior is actually illegal, and this is thanks to the Affordable Healthcare law that was passed by the Obama administration. By the way, dental and eye care are only partially covered by the plans that we have discussed today. Usually one needs to buy a separate insurance plan for getting comprehensive dental and eye coverage. If you want me to talk more about dental and eye insurance coverage, please let me know in the comment section below and I will cover these topics in my future videos. So that's it for today, guys. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.